I drove for a rideshare app for 2 years, and one passenger changed everything. I started driving for a rideshare company when I lost my job at the factory. It was supposed to be temporary, just something to keep the lights on while I figured things out. 2 years later, I was still driving strangers around at 3 in the morning, listening to their drunk confessions and awkward silences. I'd seen it all. Couples fighting in the back seat, businessmen doing cocaine off their briefcases, a woman who gave birth on the way to the hospital and named the baby after me. I thought nothing could surprise me anymore. I was wrong. On a cold night in November, I picked up a woman outside a diner on the edge of town. She was young, maybe mid-20s, wearing a gray hoodie and jeans that looked like they hadn't been washed in weeks. Her hair was tangled, her eyes were red and swollen, and she clutched a brown leather journal against her chest like it was the only thing keeping her alive. She got in the back seat without saying a word and handed me a slip of paper with an address written on it. The address was 4 hours away, deep in the mountains. I almost refused. Long trips were risky this late, and something about her made the hair on my arm stand up. But she offered to pay triple in cash, up front, and I had rent due in 3 days. I took the money and started driving. The first hour was silent. She sat in the back, staring out the window, her fingers tracing patterns on the cover of the journal. I tried to make small talk. She didn't respond. When we crossed the city limits, she finally spoke, and her voice was so quiet I almost missed it. "Do you believe in monsters?" I laughed. I thought it was a joke. Then I looked in the rearview mirror and saw her expression. She wasn't joking. Her eyes were wide, her lips pale, and she was trembling. I asked her what kind of monster she meant. She said, "The kind that wear human skin." I should have turned around right then. I should have dropped her at the nearest police station and gone home. But I didn't. I kept driving. Because she had already paid me. Because I was curious. Because I was an idiot. She told me her name was Mara. She said she had been running for 3 years. Running from a man she called the Collector. He wasn't a lover. Not exactly. Not a stranger either. He was something in between. Someone who had entered her life when she was vulnerable and made her feel safe, then slowly, methodically, dismantled every part of her that could fight back. She said the Collector didn't just hurt people. He collected them. He kept journals on everyone he had ever taken. Their fears, their habits, their breaking points. He studied them like specimens, learned everything about them, and then, when he was done, he made them disappear. Mara was the only one who had ever escaped. She stole his latest journal before she fled, the brown leather one she was holding, and she had been running ever since. I asked her what was in the journal. She opened it and started reading names. Dozens of names. Each one had a date next to it, a location, and a single word. Some of the words were things like fire, or water, or buried. Others were more specific. Staircase. Mirror. Lullaby. I asked her what the words meant. She said, "It's how he chooses to end them. Each one is different. Each one is tailored to the person. He says it's an art." I felt sick. I pulled over at a rest stop and asked her why she was going to the mountains. She said the address she gave me was a cabin that belonged to her grandfather. She thought she would be safe there, at least for a while, long enough to figure out her next move. I asked her why she hadn't gone to the police. She laughed, and it was the saddest sound I had ever heard. "The Collector is the police," she said. "His real name is Detective Al Marsh. He's been on the force for 20 years. He's the one they call when people go missing.